This morning, the British ambassador in Berlin handed the German government a final note stating that unless we heard from them by 11 o'clock, I have to tell you now that no such undertaking has been received and that consequently this country is at war.
Greetings, Groaners! Here we have our third special in a row. We honour the soldiers and civvies of past and present conflicts with episode 159, which of course is our Remembrance Day special. Why? Because this Sunday is Remembrance Day, with the 11th of November also being a special marked day. My poppy will be on me as always. Yes, I've got my badge at the ready, although the badges are a bit finicky this year, and I will probably wear it till the end of November like I normally do, just because that's what I do, out of respect. However, I did buy a wristband this year for Remembrance Day. Unfortunately, I think it was a kid's bracelet, or a kid's, one of those wristbands. It nearly cut off blood flow to my hand, so that is being left somewhere else, and I can't give it to anybody else. It was really, really tight. Did you get your poppy sorted, Groaners? Don't forget the 2 minutes silence. Do try to observe it. It's only 2 minutes to respect the fallen. For this special, there will be no audience groan, because who could groan about this day? Although I do have 3 groans, but they're not about Remembrance Day. Admin Nicole has focused on facts this week, but also brings us a creepy story. Your games this special are Talking Nonsense, 50-50, the 5-point countdown, and What the Hell Is This? With that all noted, I'll kick the show off with my groan trio. Abuse for wearing a poppy. Every year, in some shape or form, I've always worn a poppy out of respect and reverence for those who sacrificed and fought for the freedoms many take for granted. I've also been yelled at, cussed out, and even punched for wearing a poppy, all by people who clearly don't understand what such a thing represents. Poor small-minded fools. Flimsy paper poppies. Maybe I'm just getting old, but I remember paper poppies being more sturdier and easy to wear. As years have gone on, quality has wavered, and it shows in this. I get we live in the age of cutting down on unrecyclable things, but come on, can we not have a poppy that is in essence not a wet lettuce? No understanding of Remembrance Day. I've had it drummed into my skull since I was small about the importance of this day, but it seems some of the people out there call you sheep, etc. for wearing a poppy. I'll never understand this for as long as I live. I get some people have different beliefs, conscientious objectors, people who have political views, that kind of thing. But why can some people just be full of hate with no compassion or understanding that if not for the fallen soldiers, they wouldn't have what they have now? It's rather sad, really. Those are my groaners, saluting at the raising of the flag. Let's go to factual now with Admin Nicole's episode facts. Munitions factories made a perfect target for enemy bombing. Consequently, with every shell that passed through women's hands, the risk of amputation was imminent. The nature of attaching a detonator at the top of a shell saw women tapping the explosive device. A tap too hard would cause the device to explode. The danger was so imminent that women were banned from wearing any silk or nylon clothing in the fear that a rogue spark from friction would set the whole factory ablaze. There'll be more facts throughout the episode, Groaners, but now we play our first game, which is, of course, Talking Nonsense. Round 1. They were in power as a monarch in the UK when war on Germany was declared in World War I. Your nonsense is... Pause here, Groaners. Have a little think. Answer, then unpause. Moving us along, round number 2. This medal was one of the first of its kind given to a second lieutenant in 1942. Your nonsense is... an awful... hold them with... Pause here, Groaners. Have a little think. Answer, then unpause. If you know your history and everything, you'll do well in Talking Nonsense this week. Round 3. This was the bloodiest battle of World War II. Your nonsense is... Now, lads. Pause here, groaners. Have a little think. Answer, then unpause. You may have luck on your side if you got any of those, but also our next soldier definitely did with Oh Lucky. And this week's Oh Lucky, I forgot to say, was brought to us by the research of Admin Nicole. Famously known as the unkillable soldier, Adrian Carton D. Wyatt served in the Boer War, World War I and World War II. That's 3 wars he was in. In the process, he was shot in the face, he lost his left eye, was also shot through the skull, hip, leg, ankle and ear. Having previously lost an eye and a hand in battle, Carton D. Wyatt, as commanding officer, was seen by his men pulling the pins out of grenades with his teeth and hurling them with his one good arm during the Battle of the Somme. For his bravery, the 36-year-old was awarded the Victoria Cross, but he humbly made no mention of it in his memoirs, claiming it had been won by the 8th Gloucesters. For every man has done as much as I have, is what he said. I mean, just how do you still have the will to fight after going through all that? The human spirit can work wonders. Let's give the show a more creepy feel now, sticking with Admin Nicole with Creepy Corner. Your Remembrance Day story for 2025 is What You Can't Hear. I've waited for this day as long as the dawn. An endless slaughter it's been, one after another, sometimes in groups. The blood surely runs cold by now. How can it not? To be completely unaffected by the state of life right now. What can it all mean? What even is the point of living anymore? We did this for them. We did this for us. We did this for countless unborn souls yet to come. To think it is now all over and I'm left wondering, was it worth it? Will they remember us? Did we do the right thing? I ponder in my mind over and over again. I see them grow. I see them change. I see the strife. I see the calm. It's beautiful in its own right, but I miss the things they can't see. When will it be my turn? Did I lose my chance to have a turn? I had to, though, didn't I? She needed me. I did it for them. I did it for everyone naturally, but especially for them. The ones who are the reason I made it. The unwavering choices I made and the horrors I witnessed. I can say over and over, I did it for the world. I did it for my king and country. I wouldn't say that's a lie, but even I know deep down, I did it just to see them again. I did it for the ones I love. Will they know what I did? Did they get the letters? Can they understand? No, that's not right. That's not what I should ask. Can they forgive me? Yeah, that feels right. I did it all for them, but then I technically abandoned them after all. Why would they ever forgive that? Look at little Millie, my most precious of all. Growing up soon to be married. She won't live here anymore. I won't get to see her anymore. She gets to be happy though, so why does it hurt so much to never see her again? At least not for a very long time anyway. A very, very long time, I hope. I should be the one to threaten that guy. Make sure he knows to never hurt her. She has her brother though, good old Billy. A reliable one for sure. He's always been good at taking my place. I'm sorry for that, Billy. You deserve better most of all. You were still so young when you had to grow up. That heart condition of yours, thankfully, let you not be sent to me. Otherwise, it could be you standing where I am now. Yet you still had to grow up far too soon. The kids need protection, and you stepped up when you never should have had to. I feel sorry for you most of all, Billy. Let's not forget my truest of sweethearts, my dear Angie. I left you alone. Countless letters couldn't fix a broken heart. Standing on edge every single day, never knowing what to do or what to think. Keeping your mind busy as best you could, anything to stop you from thinking about the worst. I never stopped loving you, but I never stopped feeling sorry for you either. I caused you so much heartbreak. It always felt like you never recovered from the pain of it all either. My beloved family, I fought for you day after day. Those awful conditions, I hated them so much, but to save everyone I had to do it. I didn't have a choice. I'm not sorry for what happened though. We took lives, and that is such an awful feeling that I could never recover from. But we all did what we had to do in order to put a stop to even more atrocities. We fought for you all, but I fought for you especially. For the love I had to love, and the happiness I had to give up. I lost you all the day I was chosen. Sent away to help put an end to things. It took years. You grew up. The family changed. and yet none of you ever gave up hope. You all banded together, you loved, you fought in your own way, and you loved each other so much. All to make up for the love I couldn't give any of you. Is it my grief that keeps me here, or my love for you that refuses to let me part from you again? That night has played in my mind all these years, like a broken radio that could just not stop replaying the same old message. The war, it was finally over, and me and the boys were about to go home, but they found us. We held off most of them, did what we had to do in order to get home, but we missed one, hiding in the bushes. I recognise the sound of that gun anywhere. Johnny was supposed to die that day, but I've never been a fan of fate or destiny. Not when it comes to this. I took the shot for Johnny, and then Carl shot the guy. There was so much blood. We were in the helicopter finally, but the blood wouldn't stop. I remember them yelling at me to stay with them. I wanted to. It was finally over. I could finally see you again, yet I couldn't. I woke up in our beloved home, but you guys couldn't see me anymore. I saw everything though. The grief, the heartbreak, the unbearable sadness. Is it my curse, or my final gift, that I got to be here to see you all grow up one more time? Even if none of you could see me, I keep asking myself that. All these years, I've asked myself that. Now, at Angie's funeral, I have to hope she can go straight to the afterlife, to have a far better life than the one I never got to give her. Why don't we go over there together then, Mark? She replied, standing behind him. Wow, Admiral Nicole, you got me with that one. Every year you get me with these emotional stories on Remembrance Day. They never fail to make me emotional. Give me a second, Groaners. That caught me off guard, even though I did briefly read it before the show, but it still gets me every time. But now, to push my emotions to the side there, we are all straight into another game with 50-50. Round 1. What was the name for the opposing forces we fought in World War II? Was it A, Axis, or B, Xerxes? Have a think, Groaners. Pause, yell out your 50-50, and then unpause. Round 2. Where did World War I end? Was it A, Italy, or B, France? Pause here, Groaners. Yell out your 50-50, then unpause. Final round for 50-50. Round 3. Why was the poppy chosen as a symbol of remembrance? Was it A, it was one of the only plants to grow on the battle-torn soil after World War I? Or was it B, it was picked because of its blood-red colour? Pause here, Groaners. Yell out your 50-50, then unpause. But which 50-50 scored you points, Groaners? You'll find out soon. We now go back to a creepy vibe with, well, that's creepy, The Mystery of the L8 Blimp. It was 1942, and by this is meant to have happened, so I read this. A Navy blimp with the name of L8 took off from Treasure Island with a mission of submarine spotting. The blimp was manned by a 2-person crew. A few hours after takeoff, it came back into land and collided with a house in Daly City. That's D-A-L-Y. Apologies if I mispronounced that. The creepy thing, everything on board was in its proper place. No emergency gear had been deployed. Creepier still, the crew were gone. They were never found. How the hell did the blimp return? How did it try to land? I've got the answer for you, Groaners. It's a case of, well, that's creepy. To stay above creepy, we'll turn to Admin Nicole for the second fact of the special. And just like war, Groaners, not everything can be happy when we're doing this kind of special, so apologies if anyone's upset by what we go through in this podcast. The Canary Girls of World War I, who were named after working with TNT, where their skin and hair turned yellow. Munitions factories were dangerous in nature, but working with TNT not only led to discoloration of skin, which would eventually fade, but health complications later in life, which were the direct consequence of working with TNT. In 1914, it was discovered that working with TNT, a yellow explosive, was poisonous, and by 1915, it was recognised that toxic jaundice was caused by working with the substance. If the TNT hadn't turned the skin yellow, then TNT attacking the liver would have. The hazards of just not fighting in a war, but making preparations for it are equally terrifying, Groaners. And now we have another game with the 5-point countdown. Clue 5 for 5 points. a soldier could do a lot of damage with this. Pause here, Groaners. Have a little think. Chuck your guess in. You never know, you might score 5 points straight away. But if you guess wrong, you might get a clue 4. Clue 4 for 4 points. They are hazards to your own troops, not just the enemies. Pause here, Groaners. Have a think. Have a guess. Then unpause. Clue 3 for 3 points. This explosive device has many versions. Pause here, Groaners. Let's have a guess, and then unpause. Clue 2 for 2 points. If you're not well trained with one of these, you can overcook it. Pause here, Groaners. Have a little think, have a guess, and then unpause. Your last one, clue 1 for 1 point. It also has a rocket-propelled version. Pause here, Groaners. Have a think, have a guess, and then unpause. And with that, the answer will be revealed soon, but now we must name our heroes for eternity. Without the following brave people and animals, we wouldn't have what we do today. They will always be heroes in the hearts and minds of many, me included. The fallen soldiers of the Allies' side in any conflict, the brave women of the Wrens in the RAF, the civvies who worked so hard to ensure soldiers were supplied to keep on fighting, animal troops who gave their lives to support their handlers, soldiers who are still fighting tyranny to this very day. I salute you all. If you're still alive, keep fighting. If you're not, may you rest in peace and rest easy. You waited patiently, Groaners, so now we have the game answers. Talking nonsense. Round 1. Your nonsense was King George. Round 2. Your nonsense was the Medal of Honor. And round 3. Your nonsense was Stalingrad. The 5-point countdown. Yep, you might have you've gone in straight away with clue number 5. You might have got it right away. It was a hand grenade. Be honest about where you first got a Groaner. But if you changed your mind after the clue after the previous one, you'll have to guess again to get more points later on. And no, I keep telling people they don't accumulate. 50-50. Round 1. What was the name for the opposing forces we fought in World War II? The answer was A. Axis. Round 2. Where did World War I end? The answer was B. France. And round 3. Why was the poppy chosen as a symbol of remembrance? The answer was A. It was one of the only plants to grow on the battle-torn soil after World War I. And now we have the solution to anagram anxiety from last week. I got it just before Admin Nicole told me it was orange and black, one of the very few anagrams I've actually solved. Orange and black being the colours of Halloween. With a bit of luck, Groaners, you scored points this episode. We have one more game to play in a bit, but we'll have one more final special episode fact from Admin Nicole. Linking on to fact number 2, there were 400 cases of toxic jaundice during World War I, led to eventual death of a quarter of those affected. Yet women carried on anyway, as it was seen as them doing their part for the war effort, and they too are also heroes. The wars took a lot of brave people who would all doing their parts. As I said before, Groaners, may they rest easy and peacefully. Our final game of the episode is What the Hell Is This? Your clue is, this poppy was released in 1921 and has a specific name. This takes us out for another week, Groaners. Again, please don't forget to do the 2-minute silence on Sunday the 9th of November and the 11th of November on the 11th hour. It's the least we can do out of respect, lest we forget. Take care, Groaners. Next week's episode may be a bit late out, but it'll still get released. Bye-bye.